Buenos dias y bienvenido. My name is Kristin with Inbound Cuba, and I'm delighted to be here and introduce you to our brand. In our short time together, I will share who we are, why we do what we do, and what the advantages are of choosing Inbound Cuba when it's time to plan your private or small group tour to Cuba. Without further ado, let's dive in. So, who are we at Inbound Cuba? Well, quite simply, we are a company dedicated to designing 100% customized experiences for private and small group tours of Cuba. Our mission, above and beyond providing you with an outstanding experience, is to support the Cuban people. We accomplish this by working with Cuban small businesses and self-employed Cubans. There's a lovely Spanish word that means entrepreneur, and that word is cuentapropista. At Inbound Cuba, your tourism dollars go directly to these cuentapropistas, not to the Cuban government. Next, I'm delighted to introduce you to Rob and Anna Fielding, the founders of Inbound Cuba. Together, they have over 40 years of putting together deluxe and immersive experiences for North Americans. I'm going to talk a little bit more about them on the next slide. And here I am. Hola, aquí estoy. It's Kristin, with my beloved old classic cars in Havana. I bring over 20 years of experience to the table, lots of passion for travel, and I have a mysterious record of having traveled to 5.5 continents. Email me after this video to find out the secret to where that half just might be. And here's our unparalleled team, a true delight as I have met and traveled with most of them. Here you see some of our multilingual guides, private drivers, along with our detail-obsessed operations ground team, including a concierge that you will have personal access to during your entire trip. How cool is that? Okay, so now that you know who we are and why we do what we do, I'd like to share the 3 distinct advantages of working with Inbound Cuba. Advantage number 1. This is easy. It's our network. I promise to share more about Rob and Anna, and here's where that comes in. A huge advantage we have is that Anna is a native Cuban. She was born in Cuba, raised in Cuba, went to university in Cuba, and worked as a guide in Cuba after graduation. In short, Anna knows her Cuba. You cannot begin to replicate either her depth of knowledge or the extent of her local network. Anna also understands Cuba from the perspective of a global citizen, having lived in Cuba, Canada, and the United States. Advantage number 2. Well, it's our secret sauce, guys. It's the one-on-one connections with local Cubans. Again, due to Anna's extensive network and in-country knowledge, no matter what your area of interest is, we provide you with the opportunity to engage with the Cuban people in such a meaningful and powerful way that it will make your trip go from fun to an amazing lifetime experience. Here I am with Fernando, a genius mechanic who brings classic cars back to a beautiful life in a place where getting parts and pieces is a big challenge. And finally, advantage number 3, logistics. Really important stuff, guys. At Inbound Cuba, we are logistical wizards. And quite frankly, that's a necessity when it comes to providing exceptional experiences in a complex destination like Cuba. With our local team, we are able to take care of all the details and any challenges so that you can focus on your experiences and do exactly what you see here. Sit back in an old classic car and enjoy yet another gorgeous Cuban sunset while looking forward to your next day, knowing it's full of activities customized just for you. Well, there you have it. I hope you feel like you got to know us a bit better at Inbound Cuba. And I know you're going to want to reach out to us when it's time to plan your trip or perhaps your client's trip. I'm going to share our contact information here in the next slide, but first, let's enjoy a Cuban tide as it rolls in. Oh man, I just love that every time. Okay, so here we are. Again, my name is Kristin. Thank you for your time and interest. And please join me for the next short video of Inbound Cuba, Chapter 2, Legal Travel to Cuba. I'll share how and why legal travel to Cuba for Americans is still possible and how we continue to do so at Inbound Cuba. Ciao!